gotta grow, right? But of course, nobody wants like just to keep it real. And this is shit that when I say this shit, they try to like cancel it, right? They be like, "Oh, look what accent, bruh." If I'm like 31, 32, I don't want no chick that's 30. I'm sorry, like, bruh, like who, like, bruh, like, can we just keep it 100? You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I think it's a balancing act, right? I think if I was supposed to date like a 18-year-old, I think it would kind of look weird, right? Now, here's my thing. Are these people legal or they're not? So, for example, if the age is 21, which I think a lot of people like make it 21. Like for me, I like a chick to be at least 21 because, I want to be drinking. I want you to be drinking too. But again, I'm commenting on other people. If someone's dating an 18-year-old, yeah, I said 18 was legal. Now, if it happens once, I'm inclined to be like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know how that probably happened, whatever. With Leo, though, I'm going to keep it 100. With Leo, it looks like he don't fuck with older women. And when I mean older women, like, I'm not talking about women who are in their 40s. My boy don't even fuck with women who are getting to their prime. I think like a girl, like look wise, and y'all tell me if I'm tweaking. Now some of y'all are younger, very younger, so y'all might not understand what I believe a girl prime is like, and I'm talking about physically. I think a girl hits her prime physically between the ages of 25 to 30. Like they got a 5-year sweet spot where they're the baddest, like it's hitting. Real talk. After 30, it's just get a little bit. It's like basketball players. They get a little worse usually. You feel me? Even though basketball is usually about like 32, 33. But if you get a girl before 25, like ain't really all the way in their like womanly body almost. You feel me? Somebody says 21 to 25 is prime. Nah, bro. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, 20 is bro. You gotta catch a chick 25, 26. That's their prime look wise. But here's the thing: once you hit the prime, it's only down from there. Like, you know what I mean? That's the thing. Some people want to get before the prime. Somebody said black women don't age that way. Somebody said 25 and up is too old. All right, how old are you? You got to say how old you are. Somebody says 48 and 19 is weird. All right. So this is what I'm saying about Leo. I ain't gonna lie, I'd probably give him a pass type shit if it just happened one time. But like, it's clear my man likes really younger chicks in that age range. And I don't have an issue with it because it's not illegal and I'm not gonna call him a creep. So if you're waiting for me to call him a creep, I'm not. Y'all either make the fucking thing illegal or not. But I am gonna say I kind of look at him and I probably could sum up what type of guy he is. He probably wants a woman who, number one, is really wide eye. He probably, and this is why I give him a little credit for it, because if you ever deal with, I said to myself, yo, that shit that happened in Komodo where my chick is trying to fight another girl, but that's what happens when you date a 22-year-old, bro. Like, I'm being honest with you. Like she doesn't even understand the fucking world you're in. Like, you're in a world thinking about career. She's like, yo, this bitch wanted your number. I'm going to beat her ass. You get what I mean? So it's like, I give Leo a little bit of credit in the sense that we've never seen no messy shit that kind of happens when you deal with younger women because emotionally, they don't have everything intact. The most emotionally stable women I've ever dealt with or dated have actually been women over 30. I'm gonna be honest. I've dated probably 2 to 3 women older than me, and emotionally they got it. Like they were more able to reason with, right? Because they thought closer to like how I thought, the big picture. Okay, whatever. They understood. Hey, listen, I know you a dude. I know you probably gonna fuck other bitches. Like, I'm not gonna like act like I'm dying if some shit, like, they were more emotionally like whatever. But here, the only thing which, like, it's hard having this conversation about age because women check out, no matter how old a woman is, especially the older she is, actually, she might be more emotionally stable, But if you talk about age, she becomes more emotionally immature. Because women realize that their beauty and their age is two things that really, kind of establish their market value in a sexual marketplace. And you ever talk to a woman and say that, yo, like, say you're 28 and you're like, oh, yo, I'm dating a 21-year-old. The first thing a woman who's 27 is going to say, ew, that's nasty. I promise you, I swear. If you're 28 and you tell your 27-year-old friend, that's a woman, that you're dating a 21-year-old girl, she says, ew, that's nasty. Instantly. By the way, here's the funny thing, like the reverse psychology about it. When she was 21, she don't even want no nigga that's 21. You know why? A nigga that's 21 got bills, probably still in school, still live with his mama. She want the nigga who's 28. So women have a weird way of, it's just self-survival. When they start shaming you for like your preferences in women, when it comes to age, right? It's usually them saying, yo, well, if we only date older and the older dudes or dudes of our same age is going for younger, our dating preferences or dating, pool becomes thinner, so we have to shame you. That's honestly what it is. Somebody says, if he has teenagers, you hope he doesn't have it. Yeah, I do think, I ain't gonna lie, man, it's a little bit odd, but I can't call him like a creep, or I can't call him anything that he's even, would make it seem like, yo, he's on some like R. Kelly attracted to kids, like pedophilia type shit. Bro, this would have probably been the youngest girl he's dated, 19. Right? Again, odd, yeah. I'm giving odd, yeah. His body, his choice. I don't know. Like, I don't even know what people want you to say about this type of shit. Let me say this. Nobody cares about age more than a girl that's 30. When a woman is 30, let me tell you this. You know why women are more understanding when they hit 30? They have to be. They have emotionally and physically hit the wall. Niggas done ran through them. Niggas done lied to them about it. They gonna put a baby in them, get married to them. Niggas have gotten their way. They've given a pussy up to all type of niggas who are undeserving. Now they hit 30. It's like they're now like, okay, I understand more how to keep a man. But now those same men ain't looking at me. Somebody says 30 is still young. 30 is still young for all human beings, but when it comes to starting a relationship and how women view it, it's old. Because number one, there's still a stigma where people believe that if you are a 30-year-old woman, you have a very finite window that you can have kids. And I know some of y'all are young, so like when you think about dealing with a woman, you don't think about age. You don't think about the biological clock. But like these days, if a woman doesn't have kids before like 33, 34, it could be some type of way. So like when women are 30 and they start dating, they're not just dating to say who could fuck me next and who's going to treat me good to a date. They're saying who's going to be possibly the father of my child and maybe a husband. Usually around the 30s, if they've never been married before, they're saying this is my last chance at marriage. So, I always say when you're dealing with girls that's over 30, of course, you should fuck with them. But you can't waste time with them. Like, you know what I mean? What Leo seems like is a nigga who's just wasting girls' time, right? So, like, he gets a girl that's 20, 21. If you waste her time for 4 years, she's just, like, she'll be fine. Like, she still has a whole time to go find another guy. Maybe that's why they don't expose him. Somebody said he's on the Jeffrey Epstein list. Somebody says men have a biological clock. Where? Where's this clock? There is no biological clock. Let me tell you this. Men reach their peak at about between 35 and 40. Because a man's peak, honestly, really isn't based on physical appearance. Once you get past 26, actually, let me just say, once you get past 27, 28, you're going to be way more attractive to women than you've ever been. And it's not off of what you thought you were attractive to women for when you're 21. When you're 21, you think you jumping out the gym, you're running 20 miles, you got a 10-pack, whatever the case is. The older you get, you realize these chicks start liking you because you're stable. You're financially successful. You got shit going on. It's different for dudes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think women aren't passing up on younger dudes to date older to be like, oh yeah, he just looks sexier. No, they're like, no, this guy got his shit together. He drives a fucking Benz. This nigga got on a fucking Cartier glasses and a fucking, like, you know what I mean, plain Jane AP on the wrist. We know he got some money. I want to deal with him. When you're 21, a chick is just going to look at you like, yo, you the track star. She's hoping you fuck her like a racehorse. That's it. But she knows you can't really do nothing else for her. So when you get older, you kind of start realizing what shit is, and you realize that your financial peak is, as long as your body ain't deteriorating too crazy, your financial peak is your true peak. So you couple that with, you know what I mean, hopefully, say you look the best at, you know, put it like this. The best I ever looked in my life was at 19, but I had no money. Ask me now if I could get more girls now than then. So what do they care about? Do they care about when I was in the best physical condition, or do they care about when now, okay, great, all right, nigga, you ain't 300 pounds yet, nigga, right? But nigga, you got, like, you're financially, it's different for men and women. So men honestly do peak like around 35. Truth be told. Like, I know it's gonna be tough for y'all, but like, that's really what it is. And I'm older than some of y'all, so I'm giving you even not only, no, I don't want to call it game, but like I'm giving you knowledge not only from what you might be like, oh, I've heard this from some other people. I'm seeing it now. Yo, there's some of the most beautiful women that I would have had zero fucking chance at, like in high school. You feel me? Zero chance. Like, they were just so beautiful. I'm just like, whatever. I look at those women now, they're in their 30s. The guy who they get married to now, you're like, oh, hell, wait, she's getting married to him and I couldn't fuck back then? Of course. She's like, she found a nigga with a nice job, nice big house, and 2 cars, my nigga, and she's like, that's my man now. Back in high school and college, no, nigga, she wants the fucking dude who's the quarterback. She wants the dude who broke all the records in track, cross country and shit like that, my nigga. Yo, there's a chick that right now, I swear, and I want to say it to her, but like, I think she knows it, because I remember thinking, and it's the only reason why I was still friends with her. Like, she's on my Facebook low key, and I remember saying, yo, this bitch is so fucking bad. Yo, every time I saw her in the hallway in high school, my dick was rock hard, nigga. I was bricked up, nigga. I might have, nigga, like, I don't even know if I could breathe, nigga. I always said, damn, this chick is gonna, like, she could get any nigga she wanted, right? But of course, you know, she stayed local, this and third. Probably dated a couple wrong dudes who probably fucked her over, this and third. She still looks pretty good. She's 30. My nigga. She just got married. The dude who she got married to, bro, she wouldn't even think about, nigga, in college or high school, bro. Never. Y'all won't understand that because, you know, a lot of y'all are younger, so like, you watching a girl mentally mature is a very beautiful thing, because you realize their wants and needs and priorities change right in front of you. So that's what I'm saying. For all you dudes, I think 35 is your peak. I think for women, between, I won't even say, I would probably say, I don't want to say 25. I want to say 26 is your peak. For men, 35 to 40. For women, 25 to 30. Somebody said, I'm saying whatever. You believe that? 9v3, one of them says, yo, man, you want a shallow woman? I've been married for 10 years. This is not the key. So this looks like it's one of our chat queens in here. So I don't know the point you were trying to make, but I think I'm making a very fair point. Women's attraction metrics change over time. I think with men, we usually keep the same attraction metrics, right? Like for think about Leo. Leo, no matter if it's 48, he just wants a hot bitch with a tight ass. He's not getting to 48 and be like, okay, I want a girl that, you know what I mean, could like, you know, mentally challenge me and build with me and, you know, somebody who's well-traveled and could speak 4 different languages. He wants somebody who could take some dick and then runs in the other room and does TikTok dance to hey, like the little Uzi song. Like, bruh, I'm sorry. That's what he wants. He wants the same shit he wanted now that he wanted at 25. A hot bitch who would take dick and shut up. Like, again, I'm using an example, but you just tell me. Somebody said this is industry thinking. No, it's not. Bro, no, it's not. If you think that's industry thinking, you haven't gotten old enough yet. If you think that's industry thinking, that's you. Okay, I'm glad y'all said that because y'all say, no, this is like, you just tell them what rich niggas want. Cat, brother. My brother's about, my second brother, he's about like 34. Got a nice job, whatever. Now, you do got a girlfriend, but shit. He's more attractive to more younger women because here's the thing what I'm trying to tell you. Women don't like to date their own age till they get old. Remember that. Women don't like to date men their own age. Think about the girl in high school. I remember there was this one chick, I was bricked up every time I saw her too. Until later on, I ain't gonna lie, it was the ultimate like karma. I don't know if it's karma necessarily, but I remember bitch was on the stripper pole. But anyway, she was the baddest, one of the best. Probably like, gotta be on like my top 3. Baddest chick in school. Bro, she would always shit on not just me. She would shit on everybody. We're in the same grade. She would shit on everybody. When we were in middle school, she would shit on us saying she dating a nigga from high school. When we're a freshman with her in high school, she would shit on us and saying, yo, I'm dating a senior. When we're a sophomore, she would shit on us and say her nigga gonna come pick her up from school with a car while we walking home or taking the bus. Women are not trying to date the nigga who like, who's in the same class with them like fucking blowing spitballs. Like, brother, we gotta just be honest, right? It's not about money necessarily. It's just like it's just how it's been when it comes to men and women, right? Think about it. How many freshman girls who are very attractive go date the nigga who's a senior? Just they're attracted by nature to older men. And that happens from early without money being involved. But sometimes it manifests itself into status and all that type of stuff. I'm telling you the truth. I'm just telling you. So put it like this. And here's the thing too, because I keep saying money, like, oh no, this is like some celebrity shit you're explaining. I went to high school, my nigga. So like, I went to high school. Maybe some of y'all in high school. Maybe some of y'all just passed high school. Bro, how many bitches did you know in high school that would brag to you or try to stun on you? Like, say you were in the same grade with them. She would tell you that her man don't even go to the school and that her man gonna come pick her up in a car. You don't got a car because you walk. You're in fucking high school, my nigga. Like, we're not that privileged, right? She's stunting on you that her man got a car. It's a hoopty, but it's still a car. He pimped it out. He got a little system in there. You know what I mean? It's like a Civic. Who cares what it is, my nigga? But that's the thing she's stunting on you with, to basically saying you don't qualify for her. That happens, my nigga. That happens. The bitch who was dating the nigga who didn't go to the school, but the dude always came to pick her up in the car, was flexing. It happened. So, again, all I'm trying to say is that women's, what they happen to want in men is a maturation process for them. With men, we're really simple and really just kind of remedial. Give us the hottest girl that, like, us men, we're always just trying to work to get to the hottest girl we could get to. And a lot of times, even when men like us get in relationships, we're just wifing the baddest or the best candidate we could get. That's why some of us get into fucked up relationships, right? Like, I remember I was dating this one girl in college. This girl was so good, man. Like, she used to cook all my, like, Jamaican food. She was a Haitian chick. She was, like, so, like, she had all the qualities of wifey, right? But she had a fat ass, too. I can't cap. She Haitian. But facial-wise, she just wasn't pretty. Nah, there was this motherfucking, Egyptian girl, very pretty, facially, this and third. Couldn't cook a lick, this and third. But you know what I'm thinking? Yo, my boys, when I pop out with the bad chick, I'm getting some props. This other chick is doing my laundry, cooking for me, but I'm in college, my nigga. Like, who the fuck gives a fuck about you cooking? I'm going to the cafeteria anyway. Of course I took the bad bitch. She was which obviously in hindsight was horrible. It was probably the worst decision ever. But you wanted to, like us men, we're so physical. We just wanted to have the bad bitch in our arm. That's it. Like, a woman will, I'm not sure if that point of their lives, but a woman will start thinking about shit. Well, yeah, okay, maybe he physically looks better, but this nigga's broke and he's not doing anything. He's just selling drugs. This other guy right here, whatever, but like he's doing, like, women will reason. Us, fuck no. Like, yo, we're not taking an ugly bitch over a bad bitch no matter what. Same thing with Leo, my nigga. Like, you think Leo about to get an old wrinkly chick that's 40 plus? It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna lie. Leo's about to, like, in everybody's definition, he's gonna look like a creep. You know why? Bro, the nigga is, you think every chick he's been fucking, look at the fucking chart, my nigga. He's been dealing with tight pussy skin, all like, right? He don't want to deal with no bitch with no wrinkles, none of that shit, my nigga. Fuck that. And also, too, because every man got to get over this. Well, at least I think I had to. I still ain't even over it. Leo is probably a nigga who don't even date women with kids. That's a mental block I realize niggas got to get over. Like, sometimes dudes will age enough where they're like, yo, for any good girl I'm going to get, she might have a kid, I have to accept it. When you're young enough and you feel like it's still viable enough, you're not doing no bitch with a fucking kid, my nigga. Tell that bitch to kick rocks after you fuck her. Just being honest with you. Look at my boy Leo, man. Like, yo. Anyway, yo, yeah, Leo, brother, man. I don't even know what to say. Nah, this chart is a little wild, though. But I'm going to keep it real, though. Here's the thing. And I don't give a fuck what y'all say. The chart, and you know what's so funny? Remember when they were trying to, like, they were trying to cancel Big Act? They were like, oh, act like kids. Like, bro, I never said nothing like that ever in my life, right? But they were trying to, like, paint that picture when I was really talking about Tyga and I was talking about Kylie Jenner, right? Now, here's the thing with that whole thing, right? And I sat back and thought about it for a quick second, and I'm like, man, they really tried to, like, get me out of the paint for some shit and try to paint me as something that I wasn't. But I was like, honestly, that did kind of go away. You know why I do think it went away? Number one, it was fucking false, and they've been grasping for straws. I always tell people around me, anytime they can find something to try to get me out of here, they're always gonna try, my nigga. You know what I mean? Like, bro, the recent shit was like, yo, he got hit in the face with an egg. Like, okay, who the fuck cares? I'm still here, my nigga, right? But what I say is that what I realized with that shit when they were talking about that, when they were like, oh, I had these comments like 9 years ago about ages and whatever, right? Like, I'll repeat even what I basically was trying to say. Essentially, I was just like, yo, listen, when people go to college, people assume that everybody's of age, right? Like, nobody's trying to be a pedophile. Nobody really wants to be with kids, right? People just assume this is like, if you ever lived on a college campus, you think it's a social circle where everybody's whatever, right? And I was using that as a comparison to, I said, maybe that's the Tiger and Kylie thing in a sense, right? And maybe it's not that bad, right? Again, Tiger's not taking no fucking flack for it, at least not no more. But you know, I realized everybody had to like fucking let it go and move on, right? Because number one, that wasn't I'm not on that, number one. But number two, here's the thing. Y'all over here getting at Leo, but like, how old is Jay-Z? How old is Jay-Z? Like, Jay-Z is 53 years old. By the way, I want y'all to Google this. Who dated Aaliyah? I want you to go to here, right? She was 22 years of age when she died, right? Okay? When did she die? I want to make sure I figure out when she died. She died in 2001, right? Wait, did she? Man, let me do the Googles on this. Because without me saying it, man. All I know, you know, I think niggas have to just stop talking about that type of shit because we should really start.
Aaliyah kept going back, forth and forth between the men in her life. Or maybe it was the men around her that kept going back and forth with each other.
Everybody knows about the R. Kelly and Aaliyah shit. Aaliyah was underage. But you know, without me saying too much, was R. Kelly the only nigga who was fucking with her underage? Yes or no? Russell Simmons, who had jumped out talking about some bullshit before. Russell Simmons dating, he had like a 17-year-old bitch at one point. Y'all remember that? Look, Russell Simmons defended dating Kimora Lee. She was legal 17, but she turned that whatever. How old was he? The nigga was like 35. Look, let me show you. 35. I'm tell you see these hip hop niggas is all about, you know, they try to keep some smoke for some niggas like that they don't like. But if y'all want to talk about Jay-Z and the niggas, see, I ain't gonna talk about it because, you know, I got some shit going on, and I mean shit going on. I don't want all my deals canceled and shit like that. But this is the reason why these type of conversations are usually. Russell forgot whatever. He happily admits she was legal at 17. Forgot to mention at the time he was 35. He was 35. He was dating a 17-year-old. Let's go to the chart. Let's go to the chart. Let's go to the chart. Where my chart at, bro? Now we got to pull up the chart. Now we need the chart. We need the chart. Leonardo DiCaprio chart. We need the chart, bro. We need the chart. We need the chart. We need the chart. Here we go. We got the chart right here. Here we go. The chart right here. So when Russell was, I just gotta make sure we get it right, chat. I can't misquote this type of shit. This is according to Hip Hop Wired. He was 35. She was 17. Let me see. When my boy Leo was 35, he was dating a 25-year-old. Who worse? Who worse? You see, hip hop don't want to be talking about this type of shit. Hip hop don't want to talk about these type of shits. When Leo was 35, he dated a 23-year-old. No, right here. No, it's 25. When he was 35, he was dating a 25-year-old. When Russell Simmons was 35, he dating a 17. I don't know about this one though. I don't think this is true. This is probably cap. Nah. He definitely did not date Beyonce at 16. That's wild. I just heard that Aaliyah was underage for most of them shits. All right, man, hold on. Shit, I gotta make sure I can see the bitch. Oh, here this go. I'm gonna get off of this page because I ain't trying to get sued or nothing like that. Shout out to Hove, man. Shout out to my boy Hove. Yo, Wolf 44, thank you for the gifteds. Montreux, thank you. Scum TK, I see you, my boy. Ron.com, what's popping with you? Nunes boy. Quad artist, I see you, man. Listen, I'm just get off of this page. All I'm gonna just say is that, you see, when they was trying to pull them false allegations on Big Act, I was wondering, I said, man, I know that even though this shit false, they thought they had me. They thought. But I realized the powers that be, some of the Rock Nation niggas, nobody said nothing. And I'm like, wait, why? I started doing my Googles. I said, oh, they know Big Act was going to do his research and throw it right on their ass. Like, all right, the shit y'all said about me was cap, but let's talk about this. You know what I mean? Let me just move on. You know what I mean? Keep this shit moving. All right. All right, man. All right, people, should we get into the X thing right now? We probably should, man. Remember, I got to talk about this Beyonce bodyguard shit, man. We'll talk about that shit, too. Long crime, it's a long crime. Here we go.
Money.
Here we go. What the fuck? They don't put out the whole video? It was a long-ass video. Oh, I guess they edited it up and shit like that. It's all good. All right. Cool. Let's start. Wow. Let's start here. This is the prosecutor detailing what happened. We're going to play that goof lawyer, too, so just remember, okay? Then we're going to talk about the Drake shit. Here we go. Hey, long live, just say on Freud, one of the most talented artists, I believe, that's ever entered music. A true, legend. Did more in his time than many people did in 5 lifetimes. So, we still weep, and we still mourn his death. But I'm very ecstatic to see justice, which I believe is about to get served, happen here. So let me just play this.
You're going to hear testimony and you're going to see evidence about 5 lives. 5 lives that converged on June 18th of 2018, costing the victim in this case, Jose Onfroy, his life. The other 4 lives that you're going to hear about are Dietrich Williams, who's on the end over there with the bow tie. You're going to hear about Trayvon Newsom, who's in the middle in gray. And you're going to hear about Michael Boatwright, who has on a turtleneck. You'll also hear about Robert Allen, who's not seated here today, but you'll hear directly from him. He'll testify. He's in custody, and he'll tell you about his...
He's snitching like a motherfucker, man. Salute to my boy Robert Allen, man. I think the ghost of X started haunting that nigga, and he decided to tell the truth, man.
Role with respect to what happened and the planning and everything that happened with this homicide. Some of the evidence that you're going to hear first starts with the day before June 18th. The day before June 18th, on June 17th, around 8 o'clock at night, you're going to hear from Tanisha Clark. Tanisha Clark has a job, but makes side money by renting out her car through an app called Turo. You'll hear how Turo is kind of like an Airbnb, but for cars. A person can put their car on the app for rental, and someone on the other end can rent directly from the person who is renting their car through Turo. Tanisha Clark, you'll hear, doesn't know the defendants. She had no connection to this case other than her Dodge Journey. She got prepared for it to be rented for one day. And so when she rents her car, she is greeted by Tony Robinson. You'll hear how Tony Robinson was very close friends with the defendant, Dietrich Williams. She was so close to Dietrich, she actually referred to herself as his sister. They aren't related, but they refer to themselves, she refers to herself as his sister. And so Tony, who rented cars before for Dietrich and his friends, was asked to rent the car for one day. Not because you'll learn that the defendants wanted to go to Disney World or take some trip, but you'll learn through testimony that they wanted to be able to take the car, ride around, and rob people. That was their plan. And so Tony Robinson, when she rents out her car, is greeted by Michael Boatwright, who's on the end here, and is also greeted by Robert Allen, who you're going to hear from Robert Allen himself. They pick up the car, and by the next day, they are out riding around. And Robert Allen will tell you what the purpose was that they were all together, and he'll say that he was with all three co-defendants, and that together their plan was to be able to rob somebody that day, and that they had all of the things in preparation for that. They had firearms, they had masks, and they had the capability of doing it. And so on that day, they drive to Riva Motorsports, and the day that we're talking about is June 18th. On that same day, on June 18th, the morning of, before the homicide occurs, you're going to hear how Jose Onfroy, who is commonly referred to as XXXTENTACION, woke up that morning, was woken up by his mom. You'll hear how he was a young celebrity rapper who gained his fame through a lot of his exposure through social media and downloads and things like that, and was very much a self-made artist who then rose up the ranks. He was wealthy as a result of his celebrity, and he also had a pregnant girlfriend who was pregnant with his first child. Jose that morning decided to go to the bank first. He lived out in Parkland and decided to go to Bank of America. You're going to see some surveillance from that, and you're going to hear from the teller who actually helped him at Bank of America because he was a regular customer. That morning, after going to the bank, his plan was to be able to go to Riva Motorsports. You're going to hear how he's also a regular customer at Riva Motorsports. And at Riva Motorsports, he intended on purchasing motorbikes, plural, possibly one or more, and that he'd done that before, and that was something that, he wanted to do for himself and his friends. On that particular day, that morning, when he went to the bank, his intention was to withdraw $250,000 in cash to be able to make the purchase later on at Riva Motorsports. The bank, you'll hear, did not have that amount on hand. And so they dispensed $50,000 to him from his account of his own money. You'll hear how later in the week, a few days later, he was slated to come back to the bank to collect the rest of the $200,000. And unfortunately, he never made it. What ends up happening after he leaves the bank, he puts the cash in what he often carried with him, which is a Louis Vuitton satchel. Also, you'll hear how his mother that day was concerned about him going to the Riva Motorsports by himself. She wanted him to be accompanied. Because she knew, she'll tell you, that she expected for him to purchase some motorbikes and needed for him to ride back with someone to ride the motorbike and someone to be able to drive his car back, because obviously he couldn't do both. So she, you'll hear, asked a gentleman by the name of Leonard Kerr, who is related, not by blood, to the victim in that he is the uncle of Jase's younger brother. So Leonard Kerr accompanies Jase to Riva Motorsports. And Jase, you'll hear, is driving a very expensive car, a BMW i8, which we don't normally see on the road, so it's very easy to spot. It's a sports car that has butterfly doors and is very fast. And Jase himself, besides driving this very expensive sports car, is also very identifiable. Besides the fact that he's a celebrity, you'll get to see that at the time of his death, he also wore his hair in a hairstyle of blue dreadlocks. So it kind of stood out on top of everything else. And on that day, he traveled to Riva Motorsports unarmed with his, let's call him for lack of a better term, step-uncle, Leonard Kerr, to go purchase these motorbikes. And at that same time that Jase and Mr. Kerr are at Riva Motorsports, you'll hear how the four co-defendants in this case, the three of whom are on trial, traveled in the Dodge Journey to the same Riva Motorsports. And while two of the defendants, Robert Allen, who's going to testify, and Dietrich Williams, who's on the end with the bow tie, go inside the store to purchase neoprene masks, they spot Jase inside the store. And this is all captured on surveillance, so you'll be able to see this for yourself in addition to hearing testimony about it. And so when they spot Jase, who has the blue hair and he has a very expensive gold necklace on and his Louis Vuitton satchel, they immediately, Robert Allen and Dietrich Williams, start communicating to the two co-defendants, Trayvon Newsom and Michael Boatwright, who are still in the Dodge Journey waiting for them to come back to the car. And it's the communication, I'm not giving you exact words, but something to the effect of that they spot the victim who's inside Riva Motorsports. And they are automatically spotting the fact that he's a celebrity. And so when Dietrich Williams and Robert Allen go back to the vehicle, now all four co-defendants are in the vehicle and the actions are set in motion. You'll hear about the layout of the parking lot of Riva Motorsports. There's only two entrances and one exit. One of the two entrances is one way, and so you can't exit. And the second entrance is an exit and an entrance. And the entire Riva Motorsports has surveillance inside and out. And the parking lot is encased by a fence. And so they are able to position themselves just across the street, and you'll be able to see how the four co-defendants in the car, Dietrich Williams, who's driving, by the way, go across the street and back in their car and lie in wait for several minutes for the victim to come out. They're able to easily spot his car because there's no other car like it in the parking lot. And you'll hear how they lie in wait for the victim to come out to exit the only exit of that parking lot. And you'll hear also, more importantly, what the conversation is in the car as they get ready to rob the victim. Michael Boatwright puts on his mask. Trayvon Newsom also puts on a mask. They have hoodies. They arm themselves with firearms. Michael Boatwright gets a firearm. You'll hear how also Trayvon Newsom gets a firearm. Amongst the four of them, they decide who's going to jump out. You'll also get to see the differences between the four, because you'll note that it's very important, the physical differences between the four. Michael Boatwright is the tallest, skinniest out of the four. Trayvon Newsom is next as far as the height. And there's a big height difference between Michael Boatwright, Trayvon Newsom, and Dietrich Williams, who's the shortest and stocky build. You'll also be able to see that day Dietrich Williams has tattoos. His nickname is actually Tattoo Chucky. And in addition to the fact that Dietrich Williams is very short in stature and stocky compared to the two gunmen, Robert Allen, you'll see, is also short, and he's also overweight. Significantly overweight, and more overweight than the three co-defendants that are sitting here before you. You'll note that there's a difference in their height, weight, stature, the way they walk, the gait, because as you look at the surveillance, you'll note and you'll hear testimony about who is who and how the difference between the four co-defendants of who did what. And so when there comes a point when you're looking at the surveillance and you see two tall gunmen jump out of the vehicle, you'll be able to note, I submit to you, that Trayvon Newsom is one of the gunmen and that Michael Boatwright is the other gunman. And so Dietrich Williams, driving, cuts off the victim as he's trying to exit Riva Motorsports. And as just like they planned, they're able to cut off the victim so that he can't move his car without either crashing it or whatever. And the two gunmen jump out and immediately put guns in the victim's face and in Leonard Kerr's face. You'll hear testimony about how Leonard Kerr was able to hear what the gunmen were saying to the victim. You'll also hear testimony about how Leonard Kerr ran for his life. And so as Jose is there, unarmed, in the driver's seat, surprised by the two gunmen in this case, you'll hear how they start struggling with him, punching him, and that both of the gunmen at one point are trying to get his property from him. They're able to wrestle away from him the satchel that had the $50,000 in cash. And without any provocation, without any type of weapons or anything being used by the victim, you'll hear how Michael Boatwright fires several times, killing the victim at close range. You'll also be able to see the surveillance that shows this. Immediately after the homicide, when they leave the victim there to die, the four of them leave the scene, and then they divvy up the spoils of their robbery.
I'm only playing this that you can kind of hear like the narrative on like kind of what happened, and we're gonna get to like some videos and shit like that.
You'll hear how the $50,000 is allocated between them. That found.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to this next one. I ain't gonna lie, chat. It is, you know, I cover a lot of deaths and murders. Anytime it's with X, it's just always so tough for me to do, bro. I could cover the Nipsey shit, no problem. Young Dolph shit, no problem. When it come to X, it's just something just bothers me, man. It just fucks with me. Yeah. So, I believe this is the uncle that was like in the car, and they're gonna show the surveillance footage in a second, but I don't know if it's on this clip, but he was in the car with X, and when the dudes pulled up, he hopped out and he ran. And I don't know what you guys think about that either, but I do want to hear it.
On my way with her in the car, she told me that Jesse is at the bank. That's where we're going to meet up.
Okay.
And she dropped me, leave me there. I wait until Jesse come. Me and Jesse headed, we drive out. On our way.
Let me ask you something real quick first. Did you go inside the branch?
I don't remember if if I did wait. After so long, I don't remember if I did go inside or not.
Okay. To your best of your recollection, did you wait outside for Jase?
I think so.
And how did you know what Jase was even driving? Were you familiar with his car?
I know just a car.
Okay, what kind of car did Jase have?
He did have a BMW.
What kind? Describe it if you don't know the model number or the model line.
Just a little two-wheel BMW car. He did have a black.
I'm sorry?
Hold on, I'm about to take a picture.
BMW car.
Okay. When you say little, are you familiar with BMWs?
It's a small car. I don't know the model of it.
Okay. Was there anything distinct, for example, about the doors?
When the doors open, it flip up in the air.
Okay. So what some people commonly refer to as butterfly doors? They
Yeah.
open up
Yeah.
like almost like a wing-like fashion?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And was at the time in 2018, was it a newer model car or an older model car? Was it like a vintage antique or was it a newer model car?
For me, I would say that it's a new model car because I don't really know them like that.
Okay. All right. And so you waited by the car for Jase?
I think I wait outside.
And how long were you waiting outside?
I've been waiting for a while, a long while, maybe like about a half hour, 45 minutes.
At some point, did Jase come out?
When he come out, he was about to go to drive out. That's the time.
Okay. Who else is with you at this point, with you and Jase?
Just me and Jesse.
So what do you do next?
I went in the car with him and we were driving.
Who was driving?
Jesse.
And what position in the car were you?
I was in the front seat.
Front seat passenger?
Yeah.
The type of car that is there any room for anybody to sit in the back?
I would have said there's no room inside that car because the seat is all the way back.
Okay. So, is it a sports car? Is it a wagon? Tell us what kind.
I would say it's a sport car.
Okay. Now, from the bank, where did you go next?
To the bike shop.
Do you know what the name of the bike shop is?
Riva Motorsport.
I'm sorry?
Riva Motorsport.
At any point, did you know why or where you were going, first of all?
I didn't know where I was going until we actually reached there.
Why is that? How did you not know?
Because his mom just asked me to accompany him somewhere at the time.
Okay. And what about the conversation between you and Jase? Was it ever revealed to you where you were going on the drive there?
No, because we weren't talking like that on the way, like, you understand?
Okay. Once you arrive at Riva, what do you do next?
Jesse was walking around looking on the bike, looking around. I was like behind Jesse, just looking around on the bike as well. All the bikes inside.
Okay. Were you with him the entire time when you went inside?
Yeah, I was beside him.
Okay. Do you remember what kind of bikes he was looking at?
Actually, he was looking at all the bikes inside, every bike that was inside.
At that point, were you aware why you were there?
I figured more or less that he was going to buy a bike at the time because he was looking around on the bike, all the bikes.
Okay. Do you recall what, if anything, Jase had on him in terms of like any type of bag or anything like that?
Yeah, he had a Louis bag over his shoulder.
Okay. Do you remember the color of the Louis bag?
It was like a black with the little.
The microphone is sensitive, so you'll have to be careful. Say it again?
It was a black, the little black shoulder bag that he had, Louis bag.
Okay.
Chat. This is hard. All right, I'm gonna try to. I know some of y'all just might not want to watch every single thing said by everybody. You kind of got the narrative. X decided he wanted to go buy a couple of bikes. Tried to take out $250,000 out of the bank. This is kind of normal. Usually banks that I go to, sometimes they only give you like 30,000. His bank gave him 50. Probably said, "Yo, we got to order the rest." That sometimes could take a week or whatever the case is, or 2 weeks. Who knows? Or sometimes a couple of days, depending on when they get deliveries. So, yeah, it's a myth. Like if you could have 300 billion in the bank. If you go to a branch and just walk in, you're probably not leaving out with more than, let's say, $50,000. So he's trying to buy the bikes, obviously cash. He grabs it, puts it in a Louis bag, goes to the shit. His mom, who probably knows he's gonna do some shit like that, right? Tells his uncle to go with him, or his younger brother's uncle to go with him, and he's just going for the ride, right? And from what I'm hearing, it looks like just by the luck of the draw, by just the grace of God. Sometimes we don't even know how lucky we are by like what we avoid by just timing and just like I always tell people, I'm like, yo, even if you're not religious, sometimes you gotta believe there's a higher power, because how the universe aligns itself, there could have been a million. If one variable is different in your life could have been over way long time ago, right? But it appears that the variables that day aligned in a way which just unexplainable. X going for a bike. These guys got a vehicle trying to rob a nigga. They go to the same place. Two dudes was already trying to get some shit because they want to drive around and rob people. They look and they said, "Oh shit, X is here." They tell the other dudes. The other dudes like, "Shit, we gotta rob him." They probably realized, I don't know. They realized, I don't know if, I think he had left. He had left, went, got the money, and yeah. Anyway, all right. There's some videos and support and stuff that was in this situation. Let me see if I could, hold on. Actually, let me see if I could, okay, so he stands up eventually. Let me see what he's saying.
Go ahead. This is a car.
They were addressing at the time. After so long, I don't remember.
Okay. Was there anything covering their face?
That's the thing I can't remember.
Okay, so you don't recall, if anything, what the two people looked like that jumped out of the car?
No, ma'am.
What, if anything, did they have in their hands?
All right. First and foremost, one of the guys taller than one. Okay? When they jump out of the car, I would say the shorter one go by Jesse's side. The taller one was at the front. He was, I can style?
You may. Okay, so you can stand up.
The taller one pulled to the
All right.
front.
Go ahead. This is a car.
Yeah.
Driver's seat, passenger seat, front of the car. Go ahead and show us what you want to
The
do.
taller one was like this. You don't come out the effing car. And he was like with a gun. You don't come out the effing car. The shorter one was at Jesse's side.
Come step down, please. How close was the taller one to the front of the car if these are the two front seats?
Right? That's the car. The taller one was like this. You don't come out the effing car. You stay in the car. You stay in the car. Don't come out the effing car. And I was like, you know?
Okay, so where were you seated out of these two seats?
I was in the passenger seat.
So I'm going to sit in the passenger seat. This is where you were seated?
Yeah. And he was like, you don't come out the effing car. You stay in the car. Don't come out there. So I was like, but at that time I was like, I thought it was just somebody who knows Jesse, where they come out the car.
When you're saying, and I understand we're in court, you're saying effing car. Did he actually say effing car, or did he say you don't come out of the fucking car? What did he say?
He said don't come out the fucking car.
Okay. And who was he referring to when he said that?
He was talking to me.
Why was he saying that to you? What were you
He
doing?
was pointing the gun
He's not a Haitian, he's Jamaican. He has a Jamaican accent.
at me, and the next one was around to Jesse's side of the car. digging. Give me the chain. Where's the chain? Give me the chain.
Who was saying that, and who was he saying it to?
Jase, he was digging Jase back for a chain.
What was Jase doing in response to that? As one of the gunmen is trying to grab his chain.
I hear it was like you were saying, what is for?
Did at any point, or were you aware, did Jase even have any weapons or anything on him that you're aware of?
No, I didn't see him.
Did you? Were you armed?
No.
Okay, so tell us next then what happens.
Okay. After all that, I get the door open.
How?
I sit, I like move my leg like this.
Why don't you sit down and show us?
Okay. I was like this in the car. I keep my foot like, I was like, that's that thing. Because I was like, if I run, I maybe get a shot and I can live. But if I sit,
You need a moment?
I opened the car door, and when I opened the car door, I get down. When I get down, I start to run. I run up back in the back to the shop. When I run back to the shop,
Before you go, you can please continue from the stand. And I'll just ask you just a few more questions before you continue. When you open the car door from your side and you were doing a motion with your right hand, is it automatic or is it like a manual lever that you have to open the car door?
once I touch the button, the car is full.
Okay, so you touch a button and it activates the door or doors?
One door, that's my door.
One door, okay. And once the door is activated and opened, you basically ran for your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recall what happened as you're running?
Okay. I run and I keep running two sides of the road like this, going up with a bike shop. When I go there, I pick up my phone to make up to try to call the cops, and I was like, I see a man in the back, a man out there standing in the front. And he was like, don't call the cops, I'm on the phone with them right now, I'm giving them time, don't call the cops, I'm on the phone with them. So I just still take up my phone in my hand, and the first person I called after that, it was Cleo. And
Why did you call Cleo first?
Because the cops, someone already called in the cops, and I called Cleo because Cleo is the one who asked me to accompany Jase. So that's the first person come to my mind to call, his mom.
Now, at the point that you're calling Cleo, had anything else happened other than you exited the car for your life?
I run and they were down there. The two men that could jump out the car was down there.
So you left Jase in the car and the two gunmen were still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see anything that happened to Jase, between Jase and the gunman after that?
Okay. When I run up there, up in the back, the taller guy, as I tell you, the taller guy went to run to Jase's side. The shorter one now come around to the door that my door that I opened, and he go inside the car.
You saw that?
I see that because I was looking, when I run up there and saw the man that was on the phone, I keep looking down there. When I keep looking, I realize that the shorter one come around to my side. The taller one go to Jase's side.
Okay, so it's almost like, I'm sorry?
And then I heard something like, fire! How much time I don't know, but I heard something like exploding.
An explosion?
Yeah.
Had you ever heard firearms fired in your life?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I understand you're trying to describe what the sound is like, but did it sound similar to you that you've heard that sound before?
The sound wasn't loud like that. I just hear, fire!
How many many times did you hear that, like,
I
explosion
can't
sound?
recall how much time, but I know I heard it.
And how long after you ran for your life did you hear that explosion sound?
It's like, it was very, very, very fast. You know, like, I'd say like, minute, 2 minutes, the sound of I hear it.
When you saw the two gunmen, the shorter one on the passenger side and the taller one on Jose's side, how long after you saw those gunmen positioned like that did you hear the explosion?
Actually in the same, like, I would say like in a minute or two, the explosion went off.
What did you do next?
The vehicle, the car that blocked us, it drove off, and then I go back. I see everybody going down to the car, so I go down there too.
And what did you see?
Justin was just like, seeing me like that, just like,
Was he conscious?
I don't see he was moving. He wasn't moving at all.
Was he injured?
I don't know.
Okay. The car that blocked you off, did you recognize that car?
No, I don't recognize what type of car it is like that.
What side of the vehicle did the two gunmen exit the car?
The side, the car was going, I would say south, so they come out on the right hand side. That's, you would say the passenger side.
The passenger side. Okay. Both gunmen came out the passenger side?
One come from the back door and one from the front door.
Okay. So both gunmen came out from the passenger side, one from the front passenger and one from the back passenger.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you able to see if there was anybody else in the car?
No, ma'am.
Do you know if the gunmen that came out from the passenger side slid over from the driver's side or not?
No, ma'am, I can't tell that.
Okay. And you didn't see anybody else in the car from your vantage point?
No, ma'am.
You remained behind, correct, in order to cooperate and give a statement
Yes,
to the police when the police eventually showed up?
yes, ma'am. The whole day I was there sitting down.
Say that again?
I was there the whole time until everybody with the police.
When you're not talking, Mr. Kerr, just pull back a little bit so that you're not breathing into the microphone because it's very sensitive. Reba Motorsports that you were in, that you went to that day, what county is Reba Motorsports in?
I don't know the place like that.
Do you know what city it's in?
I think they say over there is off Dixie, somewhere like that.
Off Dixie?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know, for example, are you familiar with South Florida?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Not like that.
I'm sorry?
Not like that.
Not like that.
No.
Do you know that what state you were in when this happened?
All right.
It's not a trick question.
All right. I think we have surveillance. This got released like 4 years ago.
Surveillance video showing the murder of South Florida rapper XXXTENTACION and the moments leading up to it.
The 20-year-old was killed back in June, and 4 men have since been indicted. CBS 4's Carrie Cott is in Fort Lauderdale with the story.
Surveillance cameras captured the ambush of rap.
So he's coming out here and they block him off. I probably be thinking it's too much Rambo shit. I'm like, yo, I still don't know. Like, I'm flooring that bitch. Fuck that car. I'm flooring that bitch. Before they even get up on it, that's what I'm thinking. Right here, flooring that bitch. But he probably is in shock, bro. He probably is in shock. Right? Probably is in shock, man. These two fucking idiots.
Cameras capture the ambush of
So they come to his window first.
rapper XXXTENTACIon
The uncle's over here.
as he prepared to leave at Deerfield Beach.
Wait, the uncle's already out of there. I thought the uncle said that there was somebody on his side. That's why I was a little confused. The uncle's already out of there. Did I get that wrong, Chet? This is the uncle right here. The uncle. I thought the uncle said that there's somebody on this side. Right?
Motorcycle dealership last
They look like they aimed at him. He's running.
June. The camera show of
Yeah, Chad. I can't speak on that, man. I can't speak on that action right there. I can't speak on it. Lord knows that's only something that his mom could speak on. It's only Cleo that could speak on that. They sent the uncle to accompany him, almost watch over him. And some shit happened. The uncle is out of there, bro. In the testimony, the uncle says, I'm thinking it's somebody who knows X. Which, this is why sometimes, again, you know, as much as people shit on security, sometimes you think family will go harder than security. But when you're faced with a situation where your life hangs in the balance, the dude, I could go back to it. The uncle says, I'm thinking this is some shit. They know him and he know them. So he's thinking, oh, this is some your problem shit. This is one of the reasons, honestly, chat, I don't like going out with family members. Because imagine you out with family members, it comes to a situation where it's either they're going to have to fight with you or how it's going to go. And they're like, oh, no, that's some issues that you got going on. I'm good. I'm out of here. The uncle said, I thought he knew them and they knew him. So he thought, oh, X, this is one of the beefs that you got. I'm good. Let me get out of here. I know we're Monday morning quarterbacking this shit like a motherfucker, but ain't that more reason why you should stay? They're not coming for you. They're coming for your nephew. They're coming for your nephew. By the way, I want to be very careful with this. I also don't want to slander the uncle as well, because who knows? You know, he said he forgot a few things. And you know what that tells me? I feel like he's omitting certain shit. I don't know if there's a conversation that may have happened where he's like, yo, drive. And maybe X didn't drive. I don't know. This shit is just so confusing, bro. It's so confusing. So this is a dude probably reaching for X's chain. The other one is training a gun at him. The uncle already dipped, I think. Did uncle already dip? No, the uncle dipped.
Tentacion as he prepared to leave it.
So they're grabbing his chain or just trying to get the bag. Dude is out.
Deerfield Beach motorcycle dealership last June. The cameras show a vehicle block the rapper's exit, and then men jump out of the vehicle and confront XXXTENTACION. One of the men goes into his car. Then there's a confrontation and a robbery, and the men shoot and kill the talented young artist. Surveillance video also showed XXX inside the dealership that day, when at least one of the suspects walked past.
This is the dude that's snitching. And I think this is Dedrick Williams.
Inside the dealership that day, when at least one of the suspects.
This is such a sad video because X turns for a quick second. And you guys might not know the experience of when you're out and you're known a bit. Obviously, you know, he's a fucking superstar, but when you know when you feel when somebody knows you. You feel it. You feel it. You like, I'm telling you.
The dealership that day, when at least one of the suspects walked past car. Then there's the talented young artist also showed XX.
Right here. This look right here, and this guy's looking over. Well, obviously, this is X, so it's not like anybody black knows him. So this might be different. I know with me, I could feel when somebody knows me. Not every black person knows me. White people, I don't know. But most likely, if somebody black, they might. But you could feel it. X knew these niggas knew him. He just didn't think they were. Or maybe he did think they were up to. I don't know, dog.
Sex inside the dealership that day, when at least one of the suspects walked past him. A short time later, the drama unfolded outside.
This is the uncle, by the way. By the way, chat. This is another thing. This is another thing why I don't like going out with family. I hate going out with my family. And my family loves me like, oh, let's go here, let's go here. I'm like, nah, like these days, call me paranoid. I'm more like, you know, let me get a security or something. You see, when you go out with family, the cues you got, they don't get. I want you to look at this. I promise you. I'm telling you this because, again, X is a superstar. But I know what a nigga who knows that a lot more people know you than you know them. The uncle has no fucking idea, bro. He's not even thinking that. X sees it for a second. The uncle don't know what's going on. He's just in the bike shop.
Inside the dealership that day, when at least
he don't get it at all. Look at this dude. He's looking back at X. Trust me, X feels this. Like, when I mean feel it, it's like peripherally. You sense it like, okay, this nigga, he know who I am. Whatever. The uncle, green, bruh.
Also showed XXX inside the dealership that day, when at least one of the suspects walked past him. A short time later, the drama unfolded.
It's a reason why he moved right here. He looked over. He wanted to look at them a little bit more. He's also curious, not because why X is curious. He's curious because he's like, we don't see many niggas that come up in here, much less this nigga's in a wife beater. The uncle don't know what the fuck is going on, bro.
Outside. 4 men.
These are the two dudes who came there. These are the two dudes who hopped out and tried to rob him. This is the guy who allegedly shot him.
And all are charged in the murder. One of them, Robert Allen, appeared in court this week asking to have his bond reduced.
To some extent was
attorney.
Let me see if I could. There was another video. Oh boy. I don't know if I could get up. Let's see. Hold on, I think this is the video. So here's a full video. I think this is a full video. So this happens. Handguns? Is this handguns or is it a long gun? I can't tell what gun this is. It looked like it might be one guy's a long gun. This doesn't look like a handgun. This looks like maybe a Draco, some type of. It's not a handgun. This guy right here seems to have a handgun. Four seconds in, he's out of there.
Confront XX.
Okay, it's the same video. All right. Damn. Kind of want to show you what this clown was saying in court, man.
Money.
But let me see if there's anything else relevant. Let me try to pull it up. I don't know if there's a... Maybe today... I just want to play you the full footage. Give me a second. And we'll get into talking about the Drake thing after this. All right. Okay, I have it here. I have it here. So let me play. I'm gonna play with this fucking clown ass lawyer did as his opening statement. It was so fucking horrible. But I'm gonna play it. Give me a second. Just listen to this. Here we go.
Law enforcement and the way that law enforcement deals with certain cases, it does matter. And they do investigate it differently. And as the case progresses, the evidence will show you that law enforcement took different steps that they wouldn't take if it was me or you or any other person. Now, to properly set the stage, and I know Mr. Kimak touched on it, and some of the stuff, I'm going to try not to be duplicitous, but forgive me if I do touch on certain topics because we are involved in a similar case. To set the stage for you, it's 2018, and he kind of touched on it. February of 2018 was the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas tragic school shooting.
I'm going to object to these comments. It's not relevant and also speculative.
In an opening statement, this fucking clown ass lawyer is bringing up a school shooting.
Like I was saying, that was a horrific, tragic incident that affected Broward County. It affected the citizens of Broward County. It affected BSO. So when you're talking about a law enforcement agency with their back against the wall and with the whole world already watching, that's where they were at in February of 2018. Then all of a sudden...
Hold on, give me 1 second. Nah, give me 1 second. Y'all can see? This is clown. All right, here we go.
Sudden, arguably one of the most famous entertainers literally in the world is killed in Broward County. That's where BSO was, that's where Broward County was, and all of a sudden they need to figure this out quickly because it affects everything, and the evidence is going to show that their way of figuring out quickly is they give this case to Detective Curcio, and you're going to meet him, and he's a very experienced detective. As a matter of fact, he's the same detective that was handling the Marjorie Stoneman shooting, which we'll get into that when he's on the stand. But what they do is they try and wrap it up really quick. And I compare it to a gift wrap. Not just a regular gift wrap. I'm talking about the kind you get at Macy's, the professionally done one. That's what they want to do to make it look really nice. And so that the detective can take it to his division chief, and then it goes up the chain of command to the captain, and then that little gift wrap box, the solution to the problem, goes to the state attorney's office, eventually gets assigned to an ASA, and eventually they bring it to you. But as jurors, your job is to really look in the box and find out exactly what happened in this case. And you're going to see that when Mr. Kimak was talking about tunnel vision, this case was all about tunnel vision. Okay, now, many cases that I've had, from the beginning of my career, doing misdemeanors, federal cases, state cases, prosecutors, they love to come in here and they put on their phone pointer finger, the kind you get at the Marlin Stadium.
Objection,
And
argumentative, Judge.
This guy's a clown, bro.
One more to what you anticipate they will see.
So, as jurors, just because they're saying that someone did something, your job is to really look at the evidence and find out if they did it or not. Now, the positive thing for you all and for Diedrich is that there's different types of evidence. There's testimonial evidence, which you're going to see people testifying, taking the stand, swearing to tell the truth, and testifying. There's circumstantial evidence, okay? And then there's something like video evidence. And the good thing about video evidence is that you all, sitting here, can look at a video and you don't need ASA Shields or you don't need Detective Curcio to tell you what a video is. You have two eyes and you can figure it out. And in this case, and the evidence will show, when you look at that video, okay, and you're going to see how Detective Curcio testifies, I want you all to remember this moment and to think about the distinctions in what a seasoned homicide detective is telling you what a video shows and what you all are looking at, and see the distinction and ask yourself why. Why would a seasoned homicide detective make those distinctions and testify that way when I'm seeing with my own two eyes? And you're going to figure out that it's part of the gift wrap, the solution. Let's figure this out quick because we need to give everybody, the whole world, a solution, a resolution to the nightmare that was when Mr. Omper was killed. Because no doubt about it, for Broward County, for everybody involved, it was a nightmare. Now the video, it's going to show Diedrich there. Okay, you're going to see it for yourself. Now, what?
Well, grand opening, grand closing, nigga. You're saying the video is gonna show your fucking client at the murder scene, nigga. We don't care who you think paid him. He's going to jail. What is this guy doing?
The prosecution has hitched their wagon to, okay, is Robert Allen. And Mr. Kimak also touched on Robert Allen. And I'm here to tell you that Robert Allen, first of all, he sat in jail for 4 years. It's not like if that guy was like, all of a sudden wanted to, hey, I'm going to do the right thing. No. He sat in jail for 4 years, okay? And then eventually, he came forward and he's giving multiple different versions of what occurred. And when you finally see him testifying and you finally see us cross-examine him, remember and ask yourself, can I convict Diedrich if I don't believe Robert Allen? The answer is no. Robert Allen is the one that puts him in the car. Robert Allen puts him behind the wheel. Robert Allen satisfies a lot of what the prosecution needs. And the fact that they need that from him, judge him for yourself. Judge him for yourself, listen to him, and then you ask yourself if I can believe him and whether or not I can convict someone on his testimony. The video which Mr. Kim he was pretty thorough about his explanation of the video. The next time you see that dog, it's in an accident. And it's in an accident like it got T-boned by another car. Totally unexpected. Was my client in the car? No. My client's not in the car. Now, tunnel vision is a very dangerous thing in prosecuting cases and in law enforcement investigation. Why? Well, I compare it to driving a motorcycle, which I never have done. My mom never let me do it, but like driving a motorcycle, I'm envisioning like a really fast one. You're trying to get from point A to point B in the fastest amount of time. So what happens? You lose everything in the periphery, okay? And what happened in this case is that they did that. They wanted to solve the case, resolve the case, close the case so quickly that they refused to listen to any other evidence that didn't comport with what they wanted, what they believed, or what they wanted their narrative to be. The evidence will show.
Well, that's how you got it.
Got it.
What the evidence will show. I got you.
So listen, you're gonna hear from Detective Curcio, and I'm gonna cross-examine him, and I'm gonna get a lot of things out. But for instance, when they around 2021, the evidence will show that Tanel Carter, Diedrich's ex-girlfriend, came forward and said, "Hey, I want to make sure that you guys know that Diedrich wasn't driving. That now she basically was altering her statement." And you would say to yourself, "Wow, that's big, right? That's a big thing, because this is a very important case. This is, as you can imagine, one of Broward County's more important cases, simply because it involves a celebrity, which it shouldn't be, but it is. Okay, and you have one of their main witnesses, one of the witnesses that they're relying on to put him in the car, that they're relying on to put him behind the wheel. She comes forward, and the testimony will show, and the evidence will show that they didn't do anything. They didn't bring her in to re-interview her, to talk to her, nothing. Because it didn't comport with the narrative that they wanted to pursue. Okay? In the same breath, before X died, he said, "If anybody kills me, it's Drake."
What?
And do you think that for one moment, here today, days after the event, he's killed by two masked men, right? He came on social media and said, "Guys, before he dies, if anybody kills me, it's Drake." Do you think in that time span that they went and they addressed him, they talked to him? No. Do you think sitting here today, years later, any detective has ever asked, Drake or anybody like that? No. They never did that. So you ask yourself, how could that be? If any of us is involved in, God forbid, in a murder, and you say, "Hey, it's so-and-so," you better believe so-and-so is going to get investigated. But in this case, they didn't do it. They didn't do it because it didn't comport with their version and their narrative. And as law enforcement, I think that they have the obligation to do so. Another issue. And the evidence will show that before Mr. Onfroy was killed, there was an individual by the name of Antonio King, aka 600 Breezy, that posted on.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. 600 Breezy? Chat, I know some of y'all really want to believe this is like, oh, Drake, this, blah, blah, but the same fucking nut-ass lawyer just mentioned 600 Breezy. This thing is like Orlando Brown.
On YouTube saying, "When I get off of probation, I'm going..." here to Florida and took videos by Mr. Onfroy's house, threatening him, okay? Fast forward, he's shot by 2 masked men. Do you think BSO ever investigated this? Do you think anyone in Broward County ever, went to ask him any questions? To this day, years later, that's never happened. So ask yourself, why? Why would they not investigate it? Because it doesn't comport to the narrative that they want. And that's going to be a motif in this case. You're going to see that it's consistently the same issue. It's not what they want to hear. It's not what they want to hear. So they don't investigate it. And they have an obligation. You're gonna hear from Cleopatra Bernard, Mr. Onfroy's mom, and
X's mom.
She's gonna sit there, and she's gonna tell you that the reason that she wanted security with Mr. Onfroy on the day that he was shot was because of the issues that he had with Drake and Migos. She's gonna tell you that. Okay. Now, what issues did she have? There's issues where Migos was attacked by him, but the important thing is that the mom is going to tell you that that's why I wanted that security with him. Okay? So, do you think anybody's ever talked to them? No. And that's unacceptable. Curcio himself is going to sit there and tell you, okay, the Crime Stoppers, did any name consistently come up? He's going to tell you, yeah, Drake. He's going to tell you that. But they never investigated it. And you know what? Celebrity is not a cloak of invisibility. If you're part of a case, you're part of a case. And they should have. Now listen, look, blinders is for racehorses, okay? It's not for detectives. It's not for attorneys. And it certainly isn't for jurors. So all I'm asking you is, as a jurors, okay? My job as an attorney is to ask questions, and your job as jurors is also to ask questions. Okay? You can't really verbally do it like I'm doing it, but you can ask questions to yourself. Okay? And inquire, why did this happen this way? Okay? And I'm looking forward to spending these weeks and these months together with you so we can figure out what the truth is in this case. And I feel really blessed to be here for Dietrich. I feel really honored to represent him, and I'm looking forward to, in this time that we have together, to get to the truth. Because when we get to the truth, you guys are going to find that Dietrich is not guilty of these crimes. Thank you so much.
Man, let's get to the... chat, I know a lot of y'all want to be cynicist. I won't even sit here, and I know I'm a big Drake fan, and say that maybe Drake hasn't perhaps alluded to. I don't know this is a fact. Maybe he did allude to X dying. I don't know. If he did, it's tasteless. If he did, as one of his biggest fans, I don't support it. Clearly, him and X weren't on the best of pages before X died. But did Drake kill X? You have to be an idiot to think that, right? I've spoken on this multiple times. I've said this, again, I don't know how much, people that believe conspiracy theories are going to believe it. I'm going to go back in time and tell y'all what happened when he posted, if anything happens to me, Drake did it. X didn't, he felt Drake took his song or copied his style. With Galchester, he'd think he took his cadence. He said, not only does this guy not really show up for me when I was locked up, he's taking my shit. No acknowledgement. And he wouldn't help me in my worst moment. X hit me up. There was a video of a guy who looked similar to Drake. And it looked like that person was giving fellatio to another man. There was also, and I'm sorry I'm describing in detail, but I have to. There was also semen apparently on that person's face. X texted my phone. Yo, Act. Yo, you gotta post this shit. Bro, you have to post it. is Drake. And I remember saying, bro, chill. It's like, yo, I said, that gotta be fake, like LOL or something. We got on the phone and I said, bro, like I did a quick Google search. It was a fake picture. I'm like, dog, it's not Drake. I can't post it. He's like, nah, bro, like, yo, that's just funny as hell. Like, you know, X is like funny. Like, you know, that's just, it's like, yo, this just funny as hell. I said, bro, I'm running a news page. I can't post it, bro. He's like, yo, well, fuck it. He's like, yo, I'll post it. He said, if I post it, you repost it. And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess I will because I say you posted it. He's like, fuck it, I'm posting it. I think he posted it on Twitter, maybe Instagram. Obviously, I can't post porn. It was really porn. He posts that, but he didn't stop there. He eventually posted something about Drake's mom, posted some other stuff. This was I believe maybe the same day, it could be, I was just about to get the uncle for not remembering, but shit, I don't remember certain stuff from fucking 5 years ago now. Damn, it's fucking 5 years ago since 2018. Jesus. I remember at a point, because we had gotten off the phone, I called X and I said, X, you need to chill. Because I forgot what he was saying about Drake's mom. And I said, bro, chill, bro. And I said, the reason why I'm trying to tell you to chill is that you really believe that if Drake showed up to your court hearing when you were up for like release or bond, it would have made such a statement that you felt you would have got out. And that's why you're partly mad at him, because he didn't show up. He didn't even acknowledge it. You say you didn't care if he took or whatever when it came to, like, you know, look at me. You wanted essentially to be free. And you felt a way when you requested, that's all he did. He didn't give a fuck. I remember calling X and I said, X, bro, you have to chill. I said, you're now putting up his mama up there. I said to him, I said, if you thought he was that powerful, this is what I said to him. I said, if you thought Drake was that powerful that he could have just showed up to your hearing and you would get let out of jail, if you think he's that powerful, well, why would you then think it's okay to post his mom and do all that type of stuff where, you know, if a nigga could get you out of jail, a nigga damn well could probably put you in one too. You probably want to chill. He says, he agrees. He says, nah, you're right. He deletes all the shit. He says he was hacked. He wasn't hacked, clearly. Then he puts out, I believe, the last thing. He says, yo, if anything happens to me, this is obviously after our conversation, if anything happens to me, Drake did it. But it's like a joke. Right? Cool. I don't even know when that happened in regards to how, like, let me see if I can find when it's not even close to the time of when he died. I don't think so. Post Drake picture. Let me see. Yeah, okay, great. So this happened this was February 24th, 2018. X didn't die till June 2018. This is 4 months later. He died 4 months later. Okay? I believe he even got into it with the Migos afterwards. I could be wrong. Maybe the Migos thing happened before. But I think he even got into it with the Migos afterwards. The reality of it is that I do know, and trust me, he's one of the only rappers that I can admit I've shed many tears when covering stories, when rehashing any type of, like, you know, personal conversations that I had with him. He's someone who I hold in very high esteem. And I know, just like me, a lot of his fans and a lot of people who he's helped so many people, are confused and shit. I'm even listening to the uncle, and I'm a grown ass man, and I'm a little still confused because I just can't understand how the stars align this way. It just doesn't make sense, right? So it's easy to believe conspiracy theories that somebody just had a hit out for him, that somebody whatever. But we got to be logical too. If, right? And let's say it was like Drake. I mean, I would have hated Drake for life. But we also got to be like, when I mean logical, think about this, bro. Not only did I explain, anybody who has this conspiracy theory about that, I've explained exactly what happened when he even posted the message. He posted that right after saying he got hacked. And that's after a conversation where I literally was trying to tell him, stop going at Drake's mother, because if you thought he was so powerful to get you let out of jail, he could get you locked up. And he agreed, and he took it down and said he got hacked. But then he put up in the true troll fashion, if anything happens to me, Drake did it. That's what happens. What I'm saying, also using our minds and being logical and not just going off conspiracy theories because we're hurt. We then have to look at not only how this happened, but let's say if you did really believe Drake did it, these guys are never going to see the light of day again. Why doesn't one of these guys just come out and snitch on Drake? Gunna snitched on Thug for some McDonald's. What do you think is, like, these guys are desperate to get out. One of them is already telling. Robert Allen's telling already. If Drake hired these guys, as some people might think, why would they protect Drake? Also, if you look at the surveillance footage, and it's going to come out, you're going to see there is some just fucking ridiculous luck in them running into X. It's unexplainable. There's no proof they were stalking him before. Somebody says, "Ack, you sound goofy right now." Do y'all really think that Drake? If I don't even know. You see, people who believe that, like, I don't even know what to say to them. You do know Drake would be in jail. Like Tate, like anybody else. If you do some shit like that, you're getting told on, you're going to jail. The point what I'm trying to say is that, unfortunately, this fucking this rumor about Drake seems like it's always going to persist. Because fans, just like myself, are having a hard time processing grief. This X died 4 years and about 8 months ago. 4 years and about 8 months ago. And even to this day, if I do a YouTube video about it, if I talk to y'all about it, I still feel me tearing up because I loved him just like y'all love him. And I understand why y'all gonna always have some of these theories. I just want, and by the way, you know, I'm heavily invested in this trial. I want to see these niggas go to jail for life, bro. That's it. If you love X, even if you do think Drake did it, focus on this trial. At least these niggas is locked up. These niggas gotta go. They gotta go. If it was a death penalty, I'd be rooting for that too. There is actually a death penalty in Florida. For whatever reason, they did not get it because it has to be almost damn near premeditated and cold-blooded. And I don't think it fit the standard of cold-blooded and premeditated for this murder because they believe they were doing a robbery, and such is the case. Y'all could tell me any lyric you want. First of all, Drake been rapping like he's a gangster, number one. Number two, a lot of his lyrics, people who really know, connect him to a lot of Toronto shit. But I'll digress. I'm not trying to make nothing hot for nobody. But even if you did believe that, okay, Drake rapped about it on Mob Ties, I'm not saying Drake is above rapping about something taunting someone he never liked. Okay? I'm not saying Drake is above that. Does that mean he did? All right, cool. Let's say Drake is rapping about X. When he's like, yo, if he held his tongue on that live, he'd be alive again. Okay, cool. Let's say he's doing that, which, by the way, is completely tasteless. But let's say he's doing that. What proof is that he killed him? Drake hired them? Nah, bro. Y'all gotta stop, bro. You gotta stop, man. Pull up the lyrics to Mob Ties and I'm upset. Bro, y'all guys to stop, man. Hold on. Louis bags in exchange for body bags. I think Drake is a lyricist and he doesn't say shit randomly. I'm not sure when this song got recorded. I think it got recorded afterwards, right? Yeah, that's Drake just actually being corny. Sorry, like that's my favorite artist, but like that, if that's him referring to X, that's him just taunting somebody, which doesn't prove he did nothing. Like what the fuck did y'all think? Now y'all giving Drake too much credit. If y'all think Drake killed X, like if you really think Drake killed X, why are so many other niggas alive? Drake done been beefing with mad niggas. Sick of these niggas, hire some help, get rid of these niggas. Fuck what it was, it is what it is. Whatever you did, it is what it is. I fuck with a mob and I got a lot of ties, knock you off to pay their ties. I mean, like, y'all focusing on that Louis bag shit, but like, Drake kind of been rapping gangster, like, I don't know about who. Please don't let them fool you. I don't care how they look. I heard all the talking. Now it's quiet. Now it's shush. 29 is coming. They're on edge when I cook. Lead in scoring. But look at my assists. Y'all be with Future, but I like to reminisce. I don't forget a thing. I'm patient. It's a gift. Try to tell them they ain't got to do it. They insist. Yeah, I could tell. I just gave him 2 for 40 like Chappelle. Standing over coffin with a hammer and a nail. Heard you hit up so-and-so, the name don't ring a bell. And then what's the other song called? Was it On BS? Okay, damn, maybe I should do a 20. Maybe I should break that 20, do a 10. Maybe I should break that 10, do a 5 if it get live. Do a 5 again. If he held his tongue on that live, he'd be alive again. Yo, chat. Y'all delusional, man. Y'all just don't want to accept the fact that this is a bunch of niggas who was trying to hit a lick, my nigga. Like, y'all can't be slow enough to think Drake just hired 4 random shooters, like, that he's never... Let's say Drake was a killer. Why hire 4 random shooters in Florida and think you're not going to get caught? Somebody says, Get Back ain't got no date. Man, y'all are tripping. Somebody says, what do I think X said to the killers? I'm not giving that shit up. Fuck y'all. Suck a dick. I'm not giving that shit up. You probably say, give it, we gonna shoot you. Fuck you, nigga. You gotta kill me. I'm not saying that's verbatim, but that was X's demeanor. Like, you see, some of y'all never had the privilege of having a lot of personal conversations with him. You would get to know his spirit and his demeanor a little bit more. X wasn't scared of the gun. I believe until those bullets hit his flesh and he went numb and he was pretty much unconscious, I don't believe that X had fear of what they were doing or that they were going to kill him. Somebody says, I like to dissect theories unless Drake is involved. Okay, so how are we going to start with, like, your only connection to the fucking theory is a fucking, like, 3 songs? So on BS, I'm Upset, and Mob Ties, how am I going to connect that to anything real? Sicko Mode 423. What does Drake say Sicko Mode? I think he did say something slick in there. What'd he say? Like a light, A. Slept through the flight, A. Knock for the night. 767. Man, this shit got double bedroom, and I still got scores to settle, man. I crept down the block, made a right, cut the lights, paid the price. This is all like Kanye. Niggas think it's sweet. It's on sight. Nothing nice. Spaghetti's in my ice. Jesus Christ. Checks over stripes. That's what I like. That's what we like. Lost my respect. You not a threat. When I shoot my shot, that shit wetty like I'm Shaq, bitch. See the shots that I took, wet like I'm Book, wet like I'm Lizzie. I be spinning valley circle blocks till I'm dizzy, like we're Izzy. Is this he saying? Oh, somebody say the video. Sicko Mode Drake. And you said 423?
Like a light. It half a Zan. 13 hours till I land.
I hear what y'all say with this, but y'all do know that this is not Drake's song. Drake would not shoot the video, right? Drake would not make the edits. Yeah, maybe he approved some edits, but like he's not shooting the video. He shoots with that nigga. What's that nigga named Theo Scuduro or whatever his name is? I'm pretty sure you could look under here and probably find who the fuck did the video. Look, who directed a sicko mode video? We could like find it. So it was shot by Dave Myers. Okay? I know y'all keep saying, oh, Ike, you're not putting the same work you would put in for like a takeoff situation because you like Drake. Nah, nigga, all right, cool. You want to do it? Let's do it. Dave Myers. Let's go. Let's find him on social. Dave Myers Instagram. So he shot the video, right? He's overseen everything. This is his page. He did Way Too Sexy. Let me see, what's this? Let Somebody Go. What video is this? This is I Did. Is this him? That's not him, right? Let me not go too much into the fucking... What video is this? All right. You know what I'll do y'all a solid, okay? And by the way, somebody says Ung set him up. I don't believe it's Ung set him up. Also, to the person who sent in a donation earlier about like, there was like, something about red pill, like talking points or whatever the case is. Hey, I would love for you to join Discord. We could have a conversation about that too. Chat, listen, it's 4 o'clock, man. I'm getting the fuck off of here, man. I've been streaming too late, so I gave out 4 hours, but like I want to be on earlier. So let me get off of here. Tomorrow, I'm gonna aim to get on at 10 o'clock. I could do like 10 to 3 or some shit. Because at 4 o'clock, I'm about to get up mad late. If I sleep 4 hours right now, it's already late. All right. This is what we'll do. Okay, I'm gonna do y'all a solid. I'm gonna go off on. Y'all sending me on a dummy mission. But I'm gonna keep the same energy, right? We're gonna go and we're gonna investigate this thing tomorrow. Okay, let's get into the full shit behind this whole X murder. I hate doing this for X's murder because I'm telling you, I promise y'all, I was watching it earlier today on Law and Crime. Bruh, it's emotionally taxing for me, and that's usually not the case when it comes to hip hop shit. And it's not because I'm not emotional. It's just this does something to me. I'm telling you, I tear up, all that type of stuff. But I will indulge y'all if y'all really think that, you know what I mean. Obviously, I would love to get to the full bottom of this. By the way, the trial's going on too, which the trial got a lot of stuff we don't have. I'll tell you this. Tomorrow, let's start it from scratch, okay? We can't just be... the proof can't be social media and fucking lyrics, though. We got to get into... Okay, so if you really think Drake paid these motherfuckers, who did they pay? Let's go find these motherfuckers' family members. Let's see who went on the good trip or whatever the case is. Let's figure out what the fuck happened. If you really think Drake... Because all these niggas... If Drake paid these niggas, how the fuck he has a broke-ass motherfucking... public defender? And also, why wouldn't the public defender just say, yo, my client is going to testify that Drake paid him? So who got paid? Is it the snitch? Because the snitch would have snitched on Drake too. So it can't be the snitch. It can't be this guy with his goofy ass lawyer. And then there's the other 2 dudes who actually did the robbery. You want us to get into their history? Y'all want to do that? I feel like y'all just want me to waste time, but I will do it. But I still don't think... let me tell you this, man. Yo, I know... I lost an uncle to gun violence. And my mom, based on some family drama that happened, my mom believes a particular person had something to do with it because of some of the drama that was existing. And granted, after, the police investigated, we kind of got like what really happened. Like the story is A. My mom believes B, and she will never let it go. That's like a conspiracy theory because, your emotion gets into it. It's not just about being fact-based. I'm trying to be about fact-based shit. So I don't know, man. Anyway, chat, I'll be back on tomorrow, hopefully at like 10 o'clock. I'll schedule it. I'm going to call the stream, We're Investigating Drake, okay? We'll get deep, into this whole thing. By the way, if I missed any topics, which I probably did, I'll get to them tomorrow. Today was actually pretty chill. I ain't even going no rants or nothing. We was just kind of kicking it. This was cool. Regardless, I'll be back on tomorrow. Okay, chat? I love y'all so much, and I see somebody just sent in a donation, so thank y'all. Let me make sure I salute all my subs, too, because I feel horrible when I would do that. Big Elvis, thank you for the donation. Also, Hide Your Wife says, can I ask you a couple questions on stream through Discord, real nigga shit? I'll be on Discord tomorrow, okay? Because I haven't been on Discord in 2 days. The big dude somebody says they're saying Offset was arguing with P, not Quavo. Is that true? Well, that's interesting. By the way, we didn't fully talk about this. Could somebody bring this up tomorrow for me? Somebody write me a list. So we investigating Drake. That's the main topic. We're gonna investigate this whole thing with with P and Quavo and Offset. I actually have another angle towards it. Hella Pape, thank you